Throughout my years as a math teacher, I've heard the saying, "I'm not a math person." I've heard this from both students and parents. This is a phrase that we math teachers don't like to hear. Math is not a genetic trait that is passed from generation to generation. I had a parent, actually a grandparent, that was concerned for her grandson in my class as he was potentially going to fail. We had a parent-teacher conference and discussed the benefits of flipped classroom and how they can go back and look at past lessons instead of hiring a tutor, as Grandma said she was good in math. I showed them the resources I had in my Canvas course for the students. The grandma loved that she could see how I taught the material to my students. They worked together, starting with the first lesson in the current unit, watching all of the video lessons, which weren't that many, and they weren't that long. They were less than 10 minutes each. And he took the homework quizzes that were associated with those videos, which is basically a check for understanding. In class, his grades started skyrocketing, scoring in the 90s on his tests and quizzes. Once he was caught up with the current unit, they went back to the beginning of the school year to work on those lessons to close more gaps. At the end of the school year, they wanted to keep going and continue working over the summer to fill in as many gaps as possible. The flipped classroom not only helped the student close gaps in his learning, it boosted his confidence in math and strengthened his relationship with his grandmother. I'd like to use the flipped classroom model to teach the teachers about flipped classrooms. This provides teachers flexibility as they can choose if this is something for them or not. They can learn at their own pace and in the comfort of their home or wherever they choose. Studies show that teachers spend roughly 10% of the school year in professional development, and regardless of these efforts, teachers are not improving at a substantial rate from year to year as expected. Based on teachers' evaluations, approximately 7 out of 10 teachers' performance is either showing no change or is declining. Teachers crave professional development as they want to improve and learn new strategies, but sit and get is dull and no longer fun for teachers nor beneficial. Technology is adding various opportunities for improved professional development, making it more personalized and pertinent. Recently, the Center for Public Education released 5 key principles of effective professional learning to aid in educational leaders in developing effective and valuable professional development to our teachers. The first principle, duration. Professional development can no longer be one and done. We need to have continuing education over the strategies or skill being taught. I recommend that we create peer groups so teachers can collaborate with one another, make videos that teachers can refer back to whenever they need to. This is basically the flipped classroom method. The second principle, support. Teachers need support throughout the implementation stage. Campus administrators as well as district personnel should go into a classroom to help the teachers as they are implementing new strategies. This shows the teachers that you care about their success and that you will help them in the process of their growth and development. The third principle, engage. Teachers should provide various approaches to learn. If teaching new technology strategies, then use technology to introduce it. If training on flipped classrooms, use the flipped classroom model to illustrate it. Also, ensure that teachers are actively learning throughout the course, participating in activities such as reading aloud, role-playing, live modeling, or visiting classrooms. The fourth principle, modeling. This principle is found to be very effective as it helps teachers conceptualize new strategies. This is where having instructional coaches on campus is extremely beneficial. They can either co-teach or demonstrate the new teacher strategy being used in their first period. Thinking of the flipped learning model, create a video demonstrating the strategy so teachers have the flexibility to refer back to it at any time. The last principle, content and grade level specific. A lot of teachers complain that professional development doesn't really apply to them. That is too generic. PD needs to be over a certain content or a specific grade level. In our district, the math department has been very good at this by gathering all the teachers within the same grade to practice certain skills together. Our campus administrators can help coordinate this with other nearby campuses with similar demographics so teachers can work together as well. I believe these 5 principles are the change we have been looking for and that we should incorporate them on our campus. They will help us in aiding more effective, engaging, and long-lasting changes with our professional development for our teachers.